YouTube. I just want to do a quick video on muscle and muscle development. So this one's going to be on naturally developed muscles, overdeveloped muscles, versus easy to build muscles, weak muscles, so forth. So if I go to talk about naturally developed muscles, overly developed muscles, that's going to be a muscle that you really don't have to put much effort into, and you don't have to do much. It's naturally already built. It's already large. You don't have to do much. Example would be me. My triceps are fucking ridiculous. I hate them. If I can get them in a shot. But for me, naturally, my tricep is like, don't like it. Some people may like it. It's a personal thing. It's either a hate or a love, depending on the person and the overdeveloped or naturally developed muscle. For me, it happens to be my triceps, and for a woman, it makes my arms look huge. Even when I'm cutting, I cut down to, I think months ago, I was doing a cut before I got injured, and I was 111. And I cut down 3 months, 2.5 months. I cut down to 104, and I did a really lean cut. I was looking really good, and still, like, my triceps, you don't even have to work them hard. I did rarely any isolation exercises, no tricep pull downs, extensions, kickbacks. I only do the isolation on my triceps to keep the tone. That's what you do. I don't want to overdo the isolation on a muscle that I don't want to grow because it's already jacked. For me, right? If you're somebody who's like a guy who's got this, that's great. You're going to love it. A woman, bodybuilder, great. But I don't want that, and that's just what happens. But my point is, even when I was cutting, you could still see my triceps, oh my God, were huge. So the things you do to balance that out is you kind of got to lean out a little bit more so that the fat, whatever fat's around there, kind of like doesn't exaggerate the rest of your arm, which is very hard because for me, even if I lean down, it's my arm's still what it is, right? So there's one thing you can do there, just kind of lean yourself out a little bit so that the extra fat around that muscle or area is less, so that area doesn't look as big. Now, easier said than done for some people, especially if your arm likes to hold fat. God bless me there too. So that's what happened there. So my arms tend to hold a little bit more fat. I hate that word. But it's true. But then again, I can lean it out, but it's only going to do so much because my triceps are still big. To balance it out, I work my triceps less. If they go in, obviously they're going to be worked in with a movement because they're a secondary muscle. So that is what it is. That's pretty much all the attention I'll give them, is to be the aid to the major muscle. I will not purposely go and start doing my tricep workouts to isolate them, to jack them up. If you're a guy and your chest is naturally big and it's already overdeveloped and you really don't gotta do much, and your chest is already there, or your lats are already there, or your glutes or your hamstrings or your quads are already a naturally developed muscle, and you love that muscle and you want to grow it, then train it more. Train it harder. It will still grow more. That's it. You don't want that overdeveloped muscle to be any bigger because you don't like that. Do not freaking do isolation training. Don't train them on their own. Simple. Okay, so what I do to counteract that, I lose a little bit of the weight a little bit to get the fat around that area kind of leaned out. I do more biceps is what I do to counteract it. The difference between a naturally developed, overly developed muscle or developed muscle, like we just spoke about, and a easy to develop muscle will be, for me, my hamstrings, my quads, my legs basically, and my back, I am a mesomorph, so I can get pretty, I'm genetically already gifted to grow my muscle quickly. I can get pretty jacked and lean equally if I put some effort into it. Okay, so easy to build muscle, let's say my quads, my hamstrings, my lats, upper back. I can easily build those. So if I haven't really done much and they've gotten weak, I can easily build them back up. So those are easy to build muscles. So maybe somebody starts to work out and they notice after maybe a month or maybe even 2 weeks, some people, after being off for a little bit. I'm not talking about newbie people because that's just newbie gains. You're gonna gain it. It's gonna be easier for you. I'm talking about someone who's already training and they're off for a bit and you realize, hey, I'm kind of weak. I've lost my muscle, but you realize what muscles are easy to grow. Like say, for me, let's say I start doing a whole bunch of leg stuff like for 2 weeks or 3 weeks and they build up really quick. Like they're already getting solid and I'm already seeing the striations and shit. Those are easy to build muscles. Now, excuse me, my broccoli's sitting there. It doesn't want to stay down. Hold on. Okay, so overdeveloped, naturally developed muscles, example, my tricep, don't have to do much. Easy to build muscles would be, like I just said, my quads for me, my hamstrings, my back even. Just put more effort into it and they easily get jacked and solid. Weak muscles, you are going to have to put a little more extra work. Many people that I talk to are going to say, my calves suck. I can't fucking grow my calves. They're just weak little pieces of steak that don't want to show. And I'm like, okay, just work them more. Add weights, hold dumbbells, like do them with a barbell, like, and do your calf raises. You've got to add weight to the muscles that you want to grow. If you've got weak muscles, you must train them more. You got to train them harder and you have to train them more often for the weaker muscles to grow. It's a process for that, but it will happen. So recap on this, like actually for your easy to grow muscles also, you can keep training them to get them jacked, but at the same time it's also a variant on a person. If you have easy to build a muscle and you keep training that muscle, you have to know that what your outcome, you have to know what you want your outcome for the look of your body to be, basically. So if you know that, hey man, these are easy to build, keep that in your mind, because if you don't want to build them further, you're going to end up building them further because they're already easier to build. So you can just lay off them a bit, unless you want, if you're a guy and you really want that, just lucky for you if you got easy or naturally developed muscle, if you got easy to build muscle and you just want to keep going with everything. A guy usually does, except you guys need to work your legs out a little bit more. You're the ones that complain about your chicken calves. So just do them more like you do your chest every 3 times a day for 9 hours. It's crazy what you people do. So anyways, back to that. I hope I've clarified that. So lots of times it's not, I back out of frame here. Lots of times people will think, I can't grow these muscles, they're weak. No. You have to differentiate by progress, by looking at your muscles. Within that month, 2 weeks, a month, you can see and start feeling. You can tell if it's a muscle that is actually going to take longer, or if you've already gotten pretty like solid and you can feel it, then that's an easier to build muscle. You kind of have to know your body. You kind of have to pay attention to what you're doing and what your body's looking like and what your muscles are feeling like for you to understand the concepts of these things. Now, the naturally developed muscle, it is what it is right there because that shit. fucking retarded, okay? But you gotta work with what you're given, try to balance things out, counteract, and you can pretty much make your body work for yourself if you just pay attention and just kind of know these basics here about your muscles. So, I hope that was helpful. I'm gonna be back with some more stuff. I'm gonna eat my lunch and probably do a quick upper body workout here, and I might film it. Actually, I probably will film it. So stay tuned for that. And please comment nicely. I don't like rude comments because there's no need for them. I don't go trolling on your shit or your channel. I'll go probably watch your stuff and be like, well, thank you for your presence, and carry on. Now, so stupid when people do that crap. So subscribe, there's more stuff coming. Probably talk about my injury and stuff like that. That's why in some videos it's kind of dark, or I just kind of slow or whatnot. Yeah, sometimes it's not easy for me to flow and to think, and my memory kind of fades off. So probably get into that. It's been kind of rough, so I wish I could do maybe 2 or more videos a week, but I just have to go with how I wake up that day and if I can function properly to do shit. So hopefully doing well here. So please subscribe, and I hope you like this video. Next one's a workout, and I think I'm gonna do a video on what happened to me, and a video on my workout, and 1 nutritional video. So those are the 3 I'm going to be doing. Okay, ciao YouTube. Where's my remote?